Here we go. Oh, so you're tired of seeing affordable e-bikes on the channel, huh? The $1,000 e-bikes are just not good enough for you. So today, we're gonna take a look at something that's as close to a motorcycle as you could possibly get. Something expensive. So CyberX was sucker enough to send me one of their top of the line CyberX models, pimped out fully. You guys may remember, if you're OGs, we actually have one of the older models. It looks about the same, very similar. I bought this thing a couple years back. But yeah, so CyberX found that video and they kind of liked it. We tried to upgrade that thing, but they just sent us a fully pimped out, fully, just fully specced out model. But today's kind of just an overview video on this thing. See if it's any good, see if it's any fun. First of all, this thing's like right around $6,000 fully specced out as it sits here today. Let's get into it. Lord Kurt, you wanna?
So these bikes travel from this model all the way down to the one that he originally got, that he actually bought. This one has a BAC 2000 on it, BAC, it's a ASI, Accelerated Systems Inc., I think is what this stands for. It's their bottom of the line controller. I think it puts out like 100 to 150 amps from the battery. This one came with the BAC 8000, which is the top spec'd one, and that puts out almost 400 from the battery. So if you were to multiply that by the voltage of the battery, it's a little over 30,000 watts of power in this. So I couldn't find much on the motor. The motor, as far as I can guess, is probably similar in power to the QS 165 35H, which is like a Suron type motor, and it's able to do bursts of a little over 20,000 easily. So most likely can handle most of the power of the controller. What that I predict that would mean then is it will feel like it has all the power of the controller. So that'd be really cool, because this one felt pretty good, but it was only a quarter of the power that this one is spec'd to do.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to feel that.
Oh, absolutely.
They quoted at 100-mile range. It's got a 50 amp hour battery at 72 volts, so it's 3.6 kilowatt hours, just bigger than the lowest spec zero motorcycle battery. So I expect that at the speeds this is capable of, it might actually get close to 100 miles of range, at least 50.
That's awesome.
And we know that, what was the Delfast? Delfast was quoted at 200 miles. Yep. And it's like the world record holder, 40 miles.
38 miles or something.
This has a bigger battery than that has by a long shot. So it should be able to handle a good amount of range on, what it's
That's awesome.
At. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do. It's actually got two drive systems. The motor's up here. There's then a belt that feeds another cog that this runs through, I believe. Yeah, so the next sprocket is right here. So there's actually a small system, and then this is chain drive. The original one came with a chain in the front and then a chain to here, and he had a belt conversion kit because it was so loud echoing in this compartment.
Yep.
The chain in the back doesn't make a lot of noise. It actually should sound pretty quiet.
Yeah. And these come standard with a belt drive, so you don't have to upgrade it on your own.
This was like a Kickstarter model.
Yep,
long ago.
It was
like 6 years, and then he bought it used off a guy. And so this one now, they've been selling for a while. They've already sold like over 1,000 models to buyers. You can get them delivered in like 13 days is what their website's quoted at. So that's a huge improvement from the last one. It's got a cool, I like this. I mean, you might not be able to see it very well, but these lights on the wheels are powered by, on this side, there's an electric connector that's
cool.
Just contacting this through friction. And so when it spins, it keeps contact so that the power to the wheels can continue. So that's a pretty cool system. I'm sure that's very standard for anything that's got lights in the wheels.
Yeah.
But it was fun to see it
in person.
It's so
pretty cool.
So well integrated into the brake in the front and
Yeah.
all that. I mean, you can see it really well on this side.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's a little bit more wiring and whatnot here.
So that's
really
pretty cool
look. And I said this for the last one too, and I feel like I need to say it again. This bike is actually a lot bigger than it looks on camera. Maybe it's the wide angle lens or something, but it looks small if you're looking at it from here, probably just how it's designed and stuff. But this thing is a full-on motorcycle. Here, Lord Kurt, I'm gonna
hop on it.
I was gonna have, maybe you should have just hopped on it.
I was making a step towards it, but you're here
I'm
already.
6'3" and 215 pounds, and you guys can see I can't even flat foot it on both sides. I'd have to actually lean it. This thing is a massive bike. There's so many like opinions about the seat. There's like half people like super complaining about it. Some people like, I could put a storage rack on the back and everything. I could fit my whole family on this.
It looks blocky, but it's a comfortable fabric and a comfortable cushion, I guess. Yeah. So it actually doesn't feel like it's blocky. I was just thinking, this is the Cybertruck. It's aptly named as the CyberX. Because
interesting.
Either you're like, that is the stupidest looking thing I've ever seen, or you're like, you know what, it's growing on me a little bit.
It's actually kind of cool.
I don't think anybody looked at the Cybertruck the first time and thought, that looks awesome. They probably thought, weird. Okay, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Maybe I can
like
see
it
the
now.
vision. Yeah.
This one, I mean, we looked at them for a couple of years now, and it looks pretty cool.
The first time I saw it in person, I thought it was a little bit strange too, but I'm kind of a guy who likes to see new things, you know? Everything seems to be so similar these days. When you see something completely new like this, it takes a while to get used to, but when I brought the first one home and we put it in the garage and turned these lights on for the first time, I was like, okay, all right, this actually is kind of cool. Like, this is actually pretty cool.
I mean, it's functional too, because you can fit, it's designed to be a two-person bike, but you can
for
fit
sure. At least
a mom,
5 or 6.
a dad, and 2 kids in the middle.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I had only seen the fully spec'd out models on their website, kind of just like pictures here and there of it. And so it's kind of cool just to see it in person actually and get the whole effect and everything. And it is actually kind of getting a little dark outside. So it's an advantage for us, I guess, right now. So you can actually see the lights when it's not super bright outside. We should probably mention that it actually has interswappable panels. So you can get actually customized designs. You can send them whatever design you want for this thing. Just send them like an image.
Yeah.
And they can actually put it on here.
As you can see, they were waiting on artwork on the bottom. They ended up sending it to him because he was too lazy to design.
I would have had to bill him for my time sending for custom artwork to them.
So they have the ability to do that.
They do, yeah. They're a good company too. I've talked to them several times in the past when they found this video and working on this project with them. They were like, you know, bragging about their e-bike, how good it is and whatnot, setting it to me. So that's what we're here to test out today, to see if it's actually, you know, worth the price and worth hard-earned money, and just to see how good it is, really. It's a cool bike, and I know the market for these things are a little bit smaller than the, you know, cheap e-bikes we normally do on the channel. But yeah, overall, it's a really impressive machine. It might not come across on camera, but you guys can see it's a big bike. The specs are, you know, speaking for themselves, I think. So what do you think overall though, Lord Kurt?
I like it. I mean, it's like I think the more I think about it, the more it's like the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
You either love it over time because you don't immediately love it, or you just are going to hate it forever.
I feel like you also have to get in the seat and actually ride the thing to see if you like it. Just like the Cybertruck, until you get in a Tesla, you don't know how crazy it is.
I mean, they're just going to, as you can see, I'm only 5'10", and most of my length is in my torso.
That's true.
I don't even know so much if it's the sitting in the seat, because obviously it feels good when you're in the seat, but what you can't see from the seat is how it looks from the side.
For sure.
And
that's for
if
sure.
you got confidence and swag, it's going to fit you. It's going to fit you fine.
Absolutely. This is a bike that everyone will have to ask about when they see it out and about on the town. So
it's got really smooth hydraulic braking. I'm like messing with this right here. You can hear it's got the brake light actuator click.
Yep.
And then it's just smooth.
Real crisp.
And it's got basically the same size of calipers and discs as like a 400cc street bike.
Let's turn on the display and see if we can get this headlight turned on at least, so we can see how bright these headlights are.
It's actually on the side like a real...
Oh, how about that? Just like a real motorcycle. How about that?
And
high beam, low beam.
Signals on the correct
It's like it's
side.
decently bright.
It's got hazards.
Yeah, that's a good look. That's a really good look.
It's also got a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, it does have hazards. How about that? Look at that. Yeah. Oh, and running lights and everything.
Yeah, so
that's kind of cool.
Go off, running, or high.
That's insane. That's cool.
It lines up a little crooked. I don't know if this is worth showing.
Yeah, you can adjust it, right?
It doesn't
just
seem like
cover that one right there.
Oh, it's got a nice, I didn't mention this, it's got a domino throttle. Super smooth, super sweet. I'm going to kill this. Wonder if it actually throttles. It does. I'm going to turn this off. Give this a turn and feel the resistance on that for an electric motorcycle.
Wow. Dude, that's actually pretty nice.
These throttles are like $70 if you buy them. So most people who build their own don't buy them. But it feels like it's got a stiff cable attached to it, and the resistance gets stronger the further you pull. So it feels like a cable-fed throttle.
All right, well, we'll just get this thing fully topped up, 100% battery for tomorrow, and then we'll freaking send it. Get this thing unplugged, get this thing on the road.
We didn't mention it before, but that is a 15 amp fast charger. It'll do this whole thing in like just over 3 hours.
This is how I wear my helmet. Since it's a bike, I don't put it on all the way.
You just wear it for the camera. You don't even wear it for the safety.
Yeah, not at all. I just look cool in the helmet, that's why. I don't know how fast this is actually gonna be, so I figure I might as well just safety first, I don't know. And I think this actually is pedal, like the pedal assist number.
Yeah, is the throttle as well.
Yeah, so 0 is nothing. Up to 5. Let's freaking do it. All right, you ready for this? Oh yeah, full throttle. That's pretty quick.
Sounds pretty clean. There's almost no chain noise.
All right, that's pretty quick. You know what I didn't do is check the tire pressure. It doesn't feel like they're low, but I'm just gonna check the pressures real quick, make sure it's all good.
Tire pump kit's available at theinja.com.
It's true. Thanks, Lord Kurt. Gotta get these sales, man. All right, KPA 40 PSI cold.
Okay, not bad.
Let's give this thing one more rip, and then Lord Kurt, you can jump on it.
Sure.
After that. I'm ready to be impressed, CyberX.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You also should do a pedal test.
Oh, we should right now. We should definitely do a pedal test.
I remember the last one was like comically, you had to spin it so fast to get anything out
Yeah,
of it.
the last one was like, yeah, I felt like a straight monkey just pedaling that thing.
They're just there for legal reasons.
Turn this all the way up to 5 again and just click and send it. It's quick. I mean, it's definitely quick. Full throttle. That was 32 miles per hour right there instead. All right, I'm gonna go for a brake test. It's about as quick as I was gonna stop right there. It smells like rubber. I think this thing's just so heavy that it just dragged the tires a little bit.
It was smoking from there to there. You see the line on the ground.
But when you're riding this, you're not gonna be stopping.
Yeah, you just go. I'll
Yeah,
go.
you just swerve if you're in trouble.
All gas, no brakes.
Exactly.
No, but I feel like if you had pulled the front harder, because it was just the back that was skidding.
Yeah, I felt like, so this was the front. I did like a quick test over there just to make sure I knew which one I was pulling harder. And I think the front, you can't really lock the wheel up. I tried to, right now, I just tried to. But I couldn't really lock it up. I felt like that was about as fast as I could have stopped, but
yeah,
that was the first time I've ever really mashed the brakes on it.
But also, you're used to the e-bikes going 20, you're probably going 40.
Yeah, it was going pretty quick. I was probably 30. At least 30 miles per hour.
I'm curious if there's a setting that you can, from the display, turn it to a higher power than just the 1 through 5, or if the 5 gets you the full power of the controller.
No idea. Maybe there's an app or something to connect to it. I'm just testing it as it comes today.
That's true. That's
what I'm doing. They didn't tell me how to make it faster, so that's what they're gonna get.
Do you think that if you pedal, it'll use pedal assist for you?
Nope.
I feel like I could pedal up a hill really easily. This is like the lowest possible gear.
That's hilarious.
It feels really good and it's really smooth. I didn't look at the power that it's putting on. I'm gonna go watch the watt meter. Try to get a high speed pull and see what it shows. I'm guessing it's not really much more than 10,000. So I'm guessing that the controller's turned down. .08 kilowatts. That's all that it did. Controller's capable of 5 times that. So
well, maybe I'll just email them and see if we can have something to turn it up with, you know, a way to turn it up.
Definitely seems necessary. The motor can handle more than that. Actually, it went up to 6.08 and I had it pegged, it stayed there. And then when I got to about there, before I started hitting brakes, it dropped down to 6. So it was peaked at 6.08.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Seems like either the display is not calibrated correctly, which is always possible, or the controller has a lot more power that it could put out. We'll
see if we can turn it up, but if not, it's still, first impression was it's decently fast. As far as an e-bike goes, it's still pretty quick.
It's come that time. Let's take the CyberX e-bike out for its first ride. I'll start off in pedal assist 1, see what it'll get us. I'm currently at 82.4 volts, so we're on a topped off battery. Oh wow, yeah, you can definitely tell when you hit pedal assist 5. Significantly more power. Also, fun fact about the power, I actually emailed CyberX or Xion last night, and they said that it is in fact able to be juiced for like max capacity what the controller will handle, and they want to do like a FaceTime call to do it. So I'll probably just do a follow-up video sometime soon, just juicing this thing, like seeing how fast we can actually get it. But as of right now, it's still decently quick. Definitely decently quick. That's a smooth ride too. I don't think you guys get like the actual scale of this bike. It's a big bike, dude. This thing is like, you can see I'm taller than like all the cars just driving around on this thing. It's a tall bike. It feels a lot like a motorcycle. There's not really anything else I could describe it as. It's as big as a motorcycle, and your riding position is more like a sport bike, but not like super sport. More like a Ninja, like 600, 650, or like a Ninja 300 or something. You're not like super leaned over, and it still is comfortable. It's just, you know, it's not a cruiser bike. Feels a lot more like a motorcycle than anything. All right, I'm gonna get a top speed run while we're here, if we can. I know this quarter-mile stretch here might not be enough for an actual top speed run, but we'll see what we can do. I'm just gonna pull over right here. Last e-bike I tested was 36.9 mile per hour top speed. We're definitely gonna beat that, so I'm just gonna leave it and we'll see what we get. All right, I think we're clear for a little stretch here. We got nobody in front of us. This is full throttle. We are at 34 and climbing. $43. Really smooth, by the way. I'm not sketched out at all. All right, 46.7, 47, 48, 49. It was climbing. It was climbing. Let's take a look, see how accurate that speedometer was. Oh, mother effer, I locked my phone. We got to do that again. Gosh dang it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I'm not going to lock my phone this time. Made that mistake once. All right, we are in fact in pedal assist 5. This should be as fast as it'll go. You guys can see I'm catching up with normal vehicles on the road. Currently at 44 miles per hour. There's definitely a heavy wind against me though, for sure. There's a lot of wind. Wow. 47, 48. All right. I will pull over, see what we got. 51.4, how about that? So this speedometer is actually a little less, it reads less than the actual speed. So it wouldn't surprise me if you could get roughly 55 miles per hour something. I was definitely still climbing a little bit. So there you guys have it. This is the CyberX e-bike. Definitely a fun ride, that's for sure. It's just, it feels big, but it doesn't feel big at the same time. Pretty cool. You guys can see the lights glowing down there. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Overall ride quality, suspension, everything feels really good. It feels like a real motorcycle. Everything is very dampened. Like that was a huge bump that I just went over. And again, huge bump. Didn't even feel any of it. We're on wet sidewalk right now and I don't feel sketched out at all. Really nice ride. Big bumps, nothing. Really nice ride quality for sure. And I'm not just saying that. It's not just hype. It's actually nice. Like here's a fat bump right here. Didn't lift up off the seat at all and nothing. I didn't even feel it. I'm kind of self-conscious riding this on a sidewalk just because it is big and it does look kind of like a motorcycle. I've never been hassled about it. I feel like police have better things to do than hassle kids on e-bikes. It's quick. It has a good top speed, got pedals, so it's an e-bike, and as of right now, you don't have to register it, but it did come with a certificate of origin. If you did want to register it, I'm sure you could. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna get home, and then I think I'll take it on a full range test this video. I'm not sure. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. So yeah, anyway, that is the CyberX e-bike. That's a first look at this bad boy. Fun bike for sure, dude. I have no complaints, really. I know it's an expensive bike, and I probably will critique it a little bit more. My only complaints right now is the kickstand is easy to bend. It must just be on some little metal flange or something, but like if you try to stand turn the bike, it actually bends the kickstand. Then you have to bend it back with your foot. Small complaint because it does hold the bike up just fine. I guess my only other gripe as of now is just the seat is not like ultra comfortable when you're just sitting on it like this. When you actually have your legs up, it's fine. But when you're standing on the bike like this, your legs are pushing down on the sides right here, and it kind of digs in against the little metal frame. But when your legs are up like this, it's more firmly in the middle, so it's not as uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable by any means, and especially not for, you know, in comparison to other e-bikes that are super uncomfortable little bicycle seats. This is not bad. That's just a little gripe I have with it. But really, my job here is powertrain. How good is the actual powertrain, and how is the actual build of the bike? And overall, build quality and the powertrain, really good, really good. Comfort, I guess creature comforts could be a little bit better, maybe just like stiffer foam in the seat so it doesn't sink as much. But CyberX, if you're watching this, hopefully this is helpful feedback for you guys. But that's it. Let's get this thing home, and I'll probably ride it around a little bit more, get some cool shots of it. I don't know if I'll do a full range test. I think another big selling point for this bike though is overall just its appearance. Guarantee you nobody's ever seen something like this. If you got one, nobody had ever seen something like this before. I guarantee you when I go into town with this thing on a full range test, I'm gonna get all kinds of questions on this thing. It's a really cool looking bike. Scratch all that hesitation. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this thing on a full range test. Why leave it for another video when you could do it all in one? I respect you guys too much, man. But we're gonna make it as fast as we can. You guys know how I do this. I just go pedal assist 5, as much power as the bike will possibly give me, full throttle. And we'll just see how many miles we actually get. I think I'll turn the disco lights on as well, just for visibility purposes, you know what I'm saying? Because this bike is so fast, I will not be taking it, and so big, I will not be taking it on the bike trails today. I am going to ride it in the bike lane on public roads, as a bicycle should be ridden. There's a police right there that was behind me, so I don't think he cared that much. Let's go!
So the full range test continued, and what a fun bike it is. I went all the way across town and back over dirt, streets, hills, everything. It's one of those bikes that does really well no matter what you're doing on it. Motorcycle suspension, so on-road is very smooth, off-road is also very smooth, plenty of power to get you to top speed or flow of traffic speed, and enough torque to get you off the line as quickly as cars and climb decent hills without any problems. Genuinely a great all-around bike, and one that gets a ton of attention. It's really a well-built, futuristic electric motorcycle bike that is incredibly fun to ride. Thanks again to Xion for hooking us up with this spec'd out CyberX Lightning and supporting our McLaren build.
All right, you crazy kids, I just got back from the full range test, and I'm sure you're dying to know how many miles we got. We got a whopping 32.3 miles. There's 30.3 on this trip odometer, but I rode it 2 miles on the first ride. So right around 32, 33 miles is what I got. And you guys saw how I was riding this thing too. I was definitely not going easy on it. I was riding it like it was meant to ride, like a motorcycle. But I was passing cars left and right. There were a lot of things I didn't catch on camera. I got 2 people asking me about the bike just out their windows when we were at stoplights. And I hit a massive pothole. Like it was almost like a sinkhole. That thing was massive. And I wasn't even looking for it at the time. I was looking over my shoulder and then bang! But it handled it just fine. So I was very relieved because I was hauling. I was probably doing a solid at least 50 and just almost died. That could have been a good thumbnail if I had died. Anyway, there you guys have it. That is the full range on the CyberX e-bike. Very, very cool bike, all said and done.
Number 5. Here we go.
It's an insane bike. It really is. It's about $6,000 spec'd out as you guys see it here. Powertrain, build quality, overall comfort, really good bike. There's a couple little things here and there I can critique. The kickstand is just welded onto one like little flange that's kind of welded onto the frame, and that little flange tends to bend if you put too much pressure on it. So I found myself about twice having to bend the kickstand back to make it sit right. Small complaint, the seat is not super comfortable because it's a soft foam and you can compress it enough to where you can feel the frame underneath you. Again, small complaint, just get a gel pad if you care that much. But besides those two little complaints, there's really nothing not to love about this bike. It's a super cool bike, super fun, super fast. I think overall too, what you're paying for is just how unique this bike is. I guarantee you, I don't guarantee you, but it's very unlikely that somebody that you know or somebody that sees you on this bike has seen one of these bikes before. There's almost zero chance that somebody has seen this bike with this technology on it before. So it's a good talking piece and there's a lot to love about. And it's just a really cool bike overall. Kind of strange, but again, that plays into the unique factor that nobody's seen something like this. Even you probably haven't. That's why you say it's weird, because you're not used to something like this, because you've never seen something like that. But it's a really cool bike overall. Almost no complaints, just little things here and there. That is the CyberX e-bike.